Hi, I'm Gidon from technologyman.com. Bone conduction headphones sit on your cheekbones just in front of your ears, sending vibrations and therefore sound straight to your inner ear. The main idea being that your ears are completely open to still hear what's going on around you. So they should be a safe option for running and cycling, and there's a few other advantages too. Aftershokz are the main name in bone conduction headphones, and their latest wireless offering, the Aeropex, with a fairly hefty £150 or $150 price tag, are meant to overcome one of the greatest disadvantages of this technology: audio quality. I'll put them through their paces, running and cycling, and for general use, and compare them to the Aftershokz Titanium, a couple of years old now, but that costs half the price, and the true wireless in-ear Apple AirPods Pro that arguably have one of the best transparency modes that also lets you hear your surroundings. So let's take a closer look. Inside the box you get the headphones themselves, a soft silicone storage case, 2 USB charging cables, 1 set of earplugs, and an instruction manual. The headphones weigh only 26 grams and have a thin band made from titanium that fits around the back of your neck. The band bends to hook each earphone just in front of your ear, resting on your cheekbone. The build quality is good, with a soft silicone finish, although it does attract fingerprints. I have the black version, but they're also available in blue, grey and red. The neckband has a lot of flex, but doesn't feel like it's going to break easily. They have an IPX67 waterproof rating, although they're not designed for swimming. Aftershokz have the IP68X trainers with built-in music for that. The older titaniums are just over 10 grams heavier and much chunkier in their design. They only have IP55 sweat resistance. The volume controls, which incorporate the power button, sit behind the right ear. They have several other functions that I'll come to shortly. There's also the magnetic charging port, a very welcome improvement over micro USB and a rubber flap used on previous versions. On the side is a combined power, battery and pairing LED indicator. The right earphone has a dual noise cancelling microphones for voice calls. The left earphone has a multifunction button, a single press to play, pause your music or answer end a phone call, a double and triple press to skip forward and back a track respectively, and a 2-second press to activate your voice assistant. Charging the headphones' integrated 145 mAh battery takes around 2 hours from flat. The LED is red while charging and turns blue when fully charged. The magnetic charging tip can only attach one way but snaps into place satisfyingly. It's great there's a second charging cable included, and it's a huge step up from the micro USB charging port of the previous models. But I would still prefer not to be tied to a proprietary charging cable. Wireless Qi charging would have been even better. When you turn the headphones on for the first time with a 2-second press of the volume plus power button, the LED will flash red and blue, indicating pairing mode. Connect to Aftershokz Aeropex in your Bluetooth device settings. Audio prompts and beeps accompany turning the headphones on and off, Bluetooth pairing, volume changes, and can inform you of the battery status when you press the volume up or down with the music paused. A 3-second press of the volume up button turns the headphones off. If you want to pair to another device, press and hold the volume plus power button for 5 seconds until you hear pairing, and the LED again flashes red and blue. You can connect to 2 devices simultaneously if you enable multipoint mode. With the headphones off, again enter pairing mode with a long press of the volume plus button. Then hold the multifunction button and the volume plus button for 3 seconds until you hear multipoint enabled. Connect to your first device, turn the headphones off, and then re-enter pairing mode again and connect to your second device. When you turn the headphones off and on again, they'll be connected to both devices. To disable multipoint mode, you need to again go into pairing mode and this time hold down the multifunction button and volume minus for 3 seconds. A slightly odd feature with multipoint mode is the headphones will beep every few seconds for a few minutes if they lose connection to one of the 2 devices. So if you're paired to a phone and tablet and leave the house playing music off your phone, you'll get these beeps as soon as it loses the connection to the tablet. If you want to start again and reset all your pairings, or you have any issues, you can factory reset the headphones. Go into the pairing mode as before, then press the multifunction button and both the volume plus and volume minus buttons simultaneously for 3 to 5 seconds until you hear 2 beeps and feel vibrations. Turn the headphones off and then you can start again. If you're somewhere where you do want to block out external noise, you can use the supplied earplugs or any earplugs for that matter. You can adjust the EQ settings in this situation to reduce the resulting overpowering bass by holding the volume plus and volume minus buttons down together for 3 seconds while music is playing. The voice prompt plays EQ change but doesn't state which mode you're in, so it's easy to lose track. Basically, if you take the earplugs out and music sounds hollow, you'll need to remember to press the 2 buttons again to change back to the standard mode. Disappointingly, there's no accompanying app to create custom EQ settings for the headphones or even update the firmware down the line. It's very quick and easy to hook the headphones around your ears and they pretty much fall into their correct position. There's no fiddling around adjusting fit like with the in-ear earbuds I've been looking at recently, and it's not really possible for them to fall out with their hooked fit and with the added security of the neckband. For running, I've reviewed a few pairs of true wireless earbuds recently that are pretty secure, but there's always a possibility they'll work themselves loose, especially if you sweat a lot. With no movement in my ear canal and their lightweight, I almost forget I'm wearing the Aeropex when I'm running. And an added bonus is that you can let them sit fairly securely on your neck when they're not in use. With their open ear design, you can also wear them for cycling, which is something I'd pretty much given up on. Even with a standard cycling helmet, sunglasses and a cap, they fit just fine. But I've not tried them with a time trial or full face helmet. I also found them good for the indoor cycling turbo trainer, which is usually too sweaty for over-ear and even in-ear earphones. In general use, I did find the thin neckband felt like it was cutting into my ear a bit when using them for longer periods. And in this respect, the cheaper and heavier titanium model was more comfortable. Running and cycling, I didn't notice this so much. Also, with no adjustment to the neckband, it sticks out quite a bit, so it catches if you're wearing a hoodie and gets in the way lying on your back doing stretches, for example. But even without any adjustment, they fit my children's heads aged between 10 and 15 just fine. The controls are well thought out and easy to feel for even when running or cycling. You only really have to remember the volume plus button is nearest your ear. With the titanium model, there's also a USB port next to the volume controls, which feels like a button, so my finger often fumbles for a second to adjust volume. There's no optical sensor to automatically pause music when you remove the headphones that you might expect at this price and that other similarly priced wireless earphones have. I wasn't expecting an awful lot with respect to audio quality. Bone conduction headphones generally sound fine for spoken audio, podcasts, YouTube, films, etc., but not so good for music. The Aeropex have Aftershokz's latest premium pitch 2.0 Plus and do sound far better than the titaniums for music. A cheap pair of in-ear earbuds would still sound better, but it's now easier to forget you're listening to bone conduction headphones, especially when using them for their intended purpose like running or cycling. There's still little bass, but mids and highs sound okay. They don't have any high quality codec support like aptX or AAC, but it would be most likely wasted with these anyway. There is still significant vibration at higher volumes, anything above 75% for most of the music I listen to. This buzzing sensation, which feels like it's tickling your ear, is disconcerting at first, but you generally don't notice it as much doing any sort of physical activity. And if you're just listening to them around the house or in the office, you can turn the volume down. I don't think they're any better in this respect to the titaniums. I guess the tighter they fit, the less vibration you'll get. For some podcasts, I found even at moderate volumes, I got the buzzing sensation with more boomy voices, something I didn't get with the titaniums. Although the EQ setting is intended for use with earplugs, it does also help reduce any vibrations with some spoken audio. There is no audio sync delay watching YouTube on both iOS and Android, which can sometimes be an issue with wireless headphones. Of course, their main selling point is the open ear design, and this is where they excel. I compare them to a pair of AirPods Pro, which are in-ear earbuds with noise cancelling. Almost the exact opposite of the Aftershokz. But they also have a very good transparency mode that uses their onboard noise cancelling microphones to actually let outside sounds in. They're not bad, but they don't come close to the bone conduction headphones. So long as you don't have them too loud, you lose very little awareness of your surroundings with both the Aeropex and the titaniums. In England, Aftershokz is the only brand of headphones allowed by England Athletics for events with roads open to traffic. And I can see why, even if it might be a little controversial. When it comes to sound leakage, I found they leaked even more sound than the titaniums, I think partly because they're a bit louder and perhaps with their slightly looser fit around my head. I personally wouldn't use these in an office or on a train or bus at anything above 50% volume. Aftershokz do advertise that vibration and sound leakage has been reduced from the Aeropex's predecessor, the Airs, but I don't have these to compare against. The headphones aren't particularly loud. For running they were generally fine, but for cycling with wind noise and traffic noise on busier roads, they were a little harder to hear. Even on the turbo trainer they were generally okay, but I found them a little quiet over the noise of the turbo and fan, and at max volume the vibration was quite noticeable. One use I found for them that I hadn't seen advertised was in conjunction with ear defenders for DIY or any sort of construction work where ear protection is necessary. You can't use over-ear protection, but I found banded earplugs worked best. I could still hear music and podcasts over heavy machinery whilst protecting my hearing. These headphones use the latest Bluetooth 5.0 compared to the older version 4.1 for the titaniums. Range was good, easily making it to the next room in my brick-built house. And reliability was generally good. I did get the occasional dropout with a few Bluetooth devices all connected at once, but not in general use. The headphones were actually pretty good for phone calls, even with background noise. Sound quality was decent for both ends of the call, and making phone calls with the open ear design feels far more natural than using in-ear earbuds. Battery life is quoted as a very respectable 8 hours, 2 hours up on the titaniums and their predecessor the Airs. It's not specified at what volume this is at, but at around 75% volume I got at least 6 hours out of them and still had some battery remaining. Unlike true wireless earbuds with their convenient charging case, you will have to remember to top them up, and if you do run out of charge, it's unlikely you're going to have the charging cable and a power pack to charge them up when you're out on a bike ride or run. The Aftershokz Aeropex aren't for everyone, but if you run or ride a bike, they're definitely worth considering. I also enjoy using them around the house for casual listening to podcasts and background music without being cut off from what's going on around me. This new model is a big step up from the titaniums with regard to sound quality. You'll mostly forget you're listening to bone conduction headphones unless you play your music at louder volumes and get the rather unpleasant buzzing sensation. But particularly for running, their lightweight, open-ear design and secure fit make them a great choice. I like the new model's magnetic charging port too and the additional battery life. Whether all this justifies them being over twice the price of the titaniums, I'm not so sure. If you listen to more spoken audio, the older model will probably be just fine. But they are noticeably heavier and bulkier, their battery life is less and they use the older micro USB charging port. Although the audio quality has improved over previous bone conduction headphones, you can get much better sounding wireless earphones for a lot less money, and arguably more convenient true wireless earbuds too. Whilst I wouldn't cycle with these in, I find running with them generally okay, and if they have a transparency mode like the AirPods Pro and many others, even better. But if you're after a dedicated pair of headphones for running and cycling, which you might get some general use out of too, I'll definitely take a look at the Aeropex. And if you like the concept of open ear, bone conduction headphones but want to save some money, also take a look at the cheaper titaniums. If you've tried bone conduction headphones, I'd love to know your thoughts on them. How did you find them? Did you find the sound quality acceptable? Let me know down below. And as always, if you have any questions, please ask. I read every comment and I'll do my best to respond. I do hope you found this video useful. Please like the video if you did. I'm releasing videos every week on the latest technology and how to get the most out of it, so please make sure you subscribe. It helps more than you think. And don't forget to tap the bell icon if you want to get notified as soon as a new video gets uploaded. Thanks for watching.